All right, what's going on? Welcome to Drama Free Gaming. It is what it says, and it says what it is. I'm your host, as always, End Time. Happy to be here behind the mic on the podcast once again, doing this live on the other side of 2021. We're in 2022. It's the first podcast episode number 56, and like I kind of explained last week or last time we was on the podcast, I think that was last week, we were delayed there momentarily, but we're back, we're here, and we're gonna try to keep the engines going and steamrolling into 2022. It's gonna be a good year. It's definitely looking like a good year for gaming. But before I get any further, let me introduce the only member who is with me this evening thus far. Maybe we'll get somebody else to jump on in here a little later, but everybody's been invited and forewarned. But let me just introduce you to the man who needs no introduction, Dark Dad, my friend. I know him as Jay. Jay, talk to these people. What's going on?
Hello out there, everyone.
His brother's whispering. Don't whisper, bro. You sounded kind of creepy when you do that.
Oh. Then I need to rattle your spine.
Yeah,
today
no,
on this podcast, don't we? Yeah, we need that spine. What's going on out there, ladies and gentlemen? I figured I'd be a little silly tonight. Welcome once again to Two Old Men as we badger about video games and be ourselves.
Yeah,
Thank
man.
you once again for tuning in and listening.
Yeah, we were having a pretty interesting conversation. We got into the weeds, and when we looked up, it was like 8:32 Eastern time, and
it was his fault. Just so you guys know, all right. He started something he shouldn't have started, and it got carried away.
Yeah, but we're not picking up that theme and that conversation.
Did we just clarify that before we came on?
I'm just saying. In case you're tempted to go back there.
Oh, hold on. Oh, you trying to cover yourself up from that left hook? That's what you trying to say?
I'm good, brother.
Okay, man.
I'm not gonna rock that boat. We're gonna leave it alone. Oh man, but hey, if you guys are tuning in live, remember you can catch us on anchor.fm/DFG. That's D as in David, F as in Frank, G as in God podcast. DFG podcast. Check us out, anchor.fm, and anywhere and everywhere pretty much where you listen to your podcast. There is an audio version of this, and as soon as this episode goes up here on youtube.com/drama-free-gaming, we will download it and transfer it over to audio for your hearing pleasure. But there's a lot to talk about, Jay, a lot to talk about. We're only in the beginning of the year. What's going on? Sleek in the chat. What do you think about how this year has ushered itself in already?
Well, I guess if you want to segue into the whole Konami thing.
I mean, hey, I'm leaving that door open to you. Don't worry about segues or anything. I mean, just on taking a look. Today's the 6th, and we already got a bunch of news out here. So I mean, I don't know. You want to get into it like that?
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and start this off with one of my personal favorites. Arcade 1-Up has finally done it, and they have once again claimed a lot more money out of my pocket. They have finally went ahead and dropped this summer. They are dropping the full-size cabinet, and I'm getting that.
A full-size cabinet of what?
It's going to be a full-size Killer Instinct cab.
Killer Instinct, okay.
So look at your Turtles machine, and then the screen's going to be bigger, and it's pretty much for what you're paying for. It's pretty much going to be a full-size arcade machine.
Nice, sweet.
So I was like, yeah, I kind of need to get that.
So Arcade 1-Up has stepped up their game, and you know they keep iterating on those cabinets, don't they? Like they keep making them bigger, sturdier.
Well, you know, they got the Terminator 2 one that's going to be coming soon, which I'm kind of I'm giving it the side eye. I'm looking at it. Then they got the X-Men one coming. The Simpsons one just released. I mean, they got they got Ridge Racer also down the pipeline. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with those.
All right. That sounds like a plan. T2, man, Terminator 2. I mean, that's like with the machine gun and everything on it.
Yeah, it's gonna have the two guns, and it's gonna be Terminator 2 like back in the arcade days, and you just rock out.
Wow. Okay. I
I'm
mean,
gonna
those
charge
was
you a quarter per play, by the way, just so you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say those are some beefy machines, man. You're gonna run out of real estate there. What's going on, Henyo? Henyo just jumped in right at introduction. So Jay talking about arcade one up. So
first off, Henyo, you don't get no introduction. You already late. Your only introduction is getting clowned right now. That's what your introduction is.
Right now, what I've been doing, you really wouldn't give me an introduction.
Now hold up. Now it depends on what you was doing.
No. Why you prying, bro?
I was melting the cheese for my nacho cheese.
I'm pretty sure you was melting some cheese. Okay, I got you. All right.
I got some nacho cheese, yeah. Some crunching in the background. How you guys doing?
Man. All right, man. How are you? Good to have you, man.
I know this brother coming on the mic, crunching and munching. Like, come on.
I know it's bad podcast etiquette to do that, but
it's all right.
We're going to give him a pass.
It's all right. It's real. It's real.
I know, right?
The couch over here usually to themselves.
This brother over here, like, is this dude crunching on the mic? Is this how we do a podcast?
It's real, man. It's like, it's like we always say, hey, gaming is that hobby, it's that escapism, right? And at the end of the day, we ain't trying to take anything serious at all, trying to keep it drama free, So
open us up, Anton. Open us up. What we got?
All right. Well, as I was commenting earlier, and shout out to Sleek, who is in the chat. I know he's trying to get down the little ones, so he said he's going to be chatting here with us. And he agrees. The nachos sound right about now. He's over on the YouTube side. Again, guys, if you are listening to this after the fact, you can check us out either at DFG Podcast on anchor.fm/DFG Podcast or here on YouTube at Drama Free Gaming. So check us out, get the word out. And again, there's other platforms for the podcast. I know that we're on the Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, and others out there. So check us out. Look for us, search, and you'll find us. As I was saying earlier here, 2022 gaming is here. And I mean, already we're 6 days into, the year, and we're getting announcements on games. Game Pass is getting a slew of games thrown into that service there, and we'll get to that here in a moment. But first, I want to just ask, let's throw that Henyo, what you've been playing. And Henyo died.
All right. No,
he choked on a nacho.
This dude is choking on the. How you gonna be chomping on a nacho in the middle of a podcast? He called your name up. This brother like, I'm supposed to be talking right now. Okay.
Oh man.
I've been playing. The Major League Baseball season is coming to an end. So basically, I'm trading in all my cards, and at the end of the season, when you can't collect any more cards, you kind of cash in your cards, and you can't resell them, right? Because part of the game is you get a card, and if you get a duplicate, you could resell it, right? Mm-hmm. But there comes a time, in order for you to kind of complete a set, you have to kind of submit all your players to the game, right? And then in return, you'll get a one-of-a-kind card for your team. It's like every team has a special player. But in order to get that player, you have to submit all your cards. Okay. So I'm at that point right now in which I'm not reselling any more duplicates. I'm cashing in. It's part of the collection, it's almost like a little NFT type of thing. But you get that actual player. And so, a lot of MLB The Show to finalize the season. And what have I been playing? Jeez. Far Cry 6.
Okay.
Far Cry,
how's that been treating you? Far Cry 6.
I'll be honest with you. I've been staying away from the reviews. I don't have, I've always been a Far Cry fan. since day one.
Mm.
So I've always played the game no matter how bad or how great it is. And it's just one of these games that I like because you could do a small mission and that'll be it. Like I don't have to worry about having to play 2 or 3 hours worth of gaming to finish something, right? So that and Spider-Man, I'm almost done with it. I want to say I'm a little bit over 70% done with that game. I'm staying away from the side quest, which is kind
Okay.
of difficult, but
Good on you.
yeah,
You got more discipline than I do.
and after the last podcast, I fired up my flight simulator and
Nice.
my flight switches and everything, and I had everything groove. I was in the zone. I had a great time. A nice
Awesome.
an hour, a solid hour flight from New York to Norfolk down south, and it was such a great experience.
Nice.
So cool, so immersive, man. I'm really glad that I just want more peripherals at this point.
Nice. Yeah, that upgraded TV and the peripherals. I saw the pictures you sent over on the Discord, I think you did, or text, one or the other. But I was like, wow, this brother, like he dove off the deep end with with the peripherals now. So that experience, everything just came rushing right back in. Let me ask you something about you mentioned MLB. So, quick question, and you don't have to get deep into it, but do you think that MLB 2022 will pop up on Xbox?
I don't. Yeah, I think it will. I
Okay.
think once they release it, I don't know if it's going to be an Xbox Pass exclusive.
Okay. Interesting.
There was a lot of flack on that. Between the PS players and the Xbox players, and to be honest with you, I think the Xbox players kind of took it for granted that we got it for free. Oh, this game sucks. Whatever. It's like. For someone who's been playing, the game for a really long time, you kind of, gratified from the status that it's grown into. Xbox players are just kind of jumping in and going, okay, yeah, this is a baseball game. Oh, yeah,
right.
Because they got it for free. And when you get something for free, I don't think you have that value to it. So, I think it'll come back to Xbox. I don't think it's gonna be free this time around, and if it is, I think it's really messed up of Microsoft, and that's not, I mean, Microsoft could do what the hell, whatever they want,
Right.
but it's almost like the studio should kind of step in and said, no, we should, everyone should pay for this game, it shouldn't be a freebie. And that's just for the sake of, number one, obviously you want to make money off the game. And number two, you kind of expose the Xbox players to it. And now they got a decision to make. Are you going to come back for seconds in the next season? Or, are you going to flake out,
Interesting perspective. And I thank you for that because, and just to make it clear, if you guys are listening, you who are listening, Henyo is an avid MLB player. He didn't just start playing this year, last year. He's been on this over a decade. So, getting his perspective.
A little disclaimer.
Yeah.
Just a little disclaimer. I played it for the PS5, even though it was free on the Xbox. So yes, I paid for the game.
Yeah.
And that's how much of a loyalist I am to the PS5 when it came to that.
Yeah, and that means a lot, and I appreciate your perspective because you're coming from a point of view where people could play the opposite side of that coin. I mean, I could be devil's advocate at this point and say, well, Game Pass really is not free; it's a paid subscription, and I'm sure Microsoft paid a lot of money to MLB, and MLB's happy getting that money up front, and and blah 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 blah. But I appreciate the perspective that you bring because you're a fan, you're loyal to the game. You're there year in and year out, and it means so much to you that you feel that the value of it and the appreciation of it should not be downplayed, but rather if you want to get in the game, no pun intended, right? That you should fork out that money just like you have people that fork out money to play Madden on a yearly. They get that Madden iteration every year or FIFA soccer or whatever it is. I mean, you can't tell them otherwise. They're gonna go and they're gonna spend their $60, $70, whatever it is, for the game. So
Yeah, I
so
mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, Microsoft, it was really cool. I think it was great exposure for the Xbox player that's never played the game on, on a PS. So I think it was a great exposure to the game. I get it, from San Diego Studios, but I don't know. I don't know if I would make another deal with Microsoft to say, yeah, put it back on Xbox Pass.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
How long will
and
it
that right there is to be clear. It's not saying that you're not saying that you don't want it to be on Xbox platform. It's being accessible on Xbox Game Pass. And yeah, because there's games that, like the one that you guys are seeing on the screen if you're watching this live on YouTube, is the game's called Death's Door. And it's not a new game, but I can see this game being on Game Pass and getting exposure, but this game is really good in my opinion, that it's worth the $15, $20 that they're asking for it. Now, disclosure, I bought the game and I used Bing points. So, but
he didn't buy the game. He got it for free.
No, I put the work in, and you guys give me free money, I'm gonna turn around and use it. And next week, just so that if you guys are here, and we're gonna have a special guest who's gonna talk to us about these NFTs. Henyo just mentioned it in his conversation here. I don't know if you got it, but we're gonna talk about that. The NFTs, what are they? How does it work? And et cetera, et cetera. I just don't miss it. You want to listen to that? I'm here doing my homework. But yeah, this game here, going back to what I was saying, this game here, I wanted to play it. I saw the reviews. I didn't see the gameplay, but the reviews and stuff. And I was just in that mood where I was like, you know what? I could either wait for this game, because I don't doubt that this game is probably going to be on Game Pass eventually. But I wanted to go and buy it. I bought it, and I don't regret it. And it's worth every Bing point I spend on it. So,
it's a damn cute game. I'm very intrigued by the graphics, and I saw you playing some of the gameplay on it with the frog and balancing on that board.
Yeah,
very cool looking game. Definitely.
Yeah, it's in that vein of a Metroidvania game, but I find it's also straightforward. There's not a lot of guessing, and if you can see like the UI, it's clean. All you have is like your items in the top left-hand corner, but there's no world map. So you're gonna go and you're gonna explore and investigate and all that good stuff, and it does so much for the game that it doesn't have like a marker that you can open up in a main menu and stick a flag on there and and say, okay, now it'll navigate me there. Like, you actually have to explore, and memorize where things are at, and you become familiar with the world. But I can't say enough good things about it. But Sleek in the chat says loyalty is hard to come by these days. And there's a difference, guys, and I don't know if you guys will agree with me. There's a difference between loyalty to a brand, to a game, to a company, whatever, and then there's just you being a fanboy. And we're not trying to be fanboys here, right? We have our preference where we want to play, but let's not get it twisted or mixed up. We're talking about, it's a great product, MLB, the show, and loyalty to that brand. We don't want to see that get watered down. I agree with Henyo on that part. I don't know if I agree with Henyo on it not being on Game Pass, but that's his opinion, and we're gonna roll with that. Kyle is in the chat.
We all want to try out that game. Sorry, we all want to try out that game.
Oh yeah.
If it's on Xbox, I'm gonna play it. Whether it's a good game or not, I consider it. Well, I don't know, when we talk Xbox Pass, the word free just comes out of my mouth, and I know it's not free. It's a service.
Yeah.
But you got so many games that if you actually break it down, you're basically paying pennies per game. And I believe that. I'm not exaggerating when I say you're paying pennies per game. So that's free. That's too damn close to free.
He said that's too damn close to free.
Okay. I think Henyo had a little bit of me in him. But he said, Henyo, let me ask you this and be serious with me.
What's up?
If Sony gave you the option and opened up their entire library from PlayStation 1 till now, would you feel like it would be an even split with Game Pass at that point?
He's thinking about it.
Did I mute myself? I'm muting myself because I don't want to hear the crunching in the background.
Don't worry about your crunch, bro.
Man, look, you done already sold out, so you just might as well go for it.
Before Henyo answers, because I know he heard you. We got Kyle. He says, "Yo, what's up, brothers?" And I know Sleek is there handling, saying, "What's up?" Kyle says he feels like Gandalf. Everyone thinks he's gone. Then out of nowhere, he comes back. Yeah, man. You might as well be Gandalf living up there in the mountains, wrestling with bears.
Right.
We know how you're doing. But anyways, I want to hear this response here, this banter going back and forth. And Jay, of course, jumped way ahead. But go ahead. Answer that question. What do you think?
That's not that I'm jumping way ahead. It's just I think it's a good question.
That's what happens when you don't read notes, but it's okay. Be the rebel.
I am a rebel.
If Sony comes out with a subscription, well, I mean, I know they have something now, but something that's like to the caliber of Xbox, yeah, I would definitely kind of sign up for it. But I just don't see the wealth. You know what I'm saying? It would go from, to me, it wouldn't be like pennies per game. It would be like dollar per game. And that's
why do you think it'll be dollars versus pennies though?
Because the amount of game worthy ratio, Sony versus Xbox. Xbox has a plethora of titles, and while some may exist in the Sony PlayStation universe, I don't think there's enough leverage on the Sony side to kind of say, okay, if I had to pick a service plan, I have to weigh out, okay, am I gonna play like a super, am I willing to sign up for a subscription of like maybe 10 AAA titles versus those same, at least 8 of those AAA titles existing on Xbox plus whatever Microsoft has up their sleeve that Sony doesn't. I think it's like it's not a fair I don't know, like value to me. No matter what Sony comes out with, whatever plan they come out with, I just don't see them with the amount of titles equal.
Okay.
Well, you also got to remember that Sony has a gigantic library that people like me, like if I still got a PlayStation, they dropped it tomorrow. Every PS1 game, PS2 game, PS3 game, get the subscription. You can play it whenever you want to. Mm-hmm. Sony just put a gun to the back of my head and was like, we need your money. And I'm going to be like, here you go. Take it.
I have some titles here from Sony that their services are shut down. And these are really good games. And I'll rant off two titles that I know of for sure. SingStar and Little Big Planet.
Yeah.
Mm.
These are 2 great titles that Sony had, and Sony does have, but like SingStar was like equivalent to Guitar Hero. It was a great title. I mean, it was very, very big in Europe, and it started making its way here, and it felt like when it landed here, the licensing changed. I even went as far as creating a UK Sony membership like profile. So I legitimately had an account in UK to purchase SingStar exclusive titles from UK that weren't being offered here in the Americas. Why? Because of licensing. You couldn't get the same license here. The artist would not release it here versus over there.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I experienced this. I went through this with SingStar, and it's all. The only way I could describe it is, Guitar Hero, having certain songs on Guitar Hero here in America, you won't be able to get it in Europe or in Australia or New Zealand, wherever your your Xbox is, or PlayStation for that matter. So there was a disparity there. And I found this out firsthand. I literally had a European PS account You know how hard that is? You had to get an address over there. You had to get a legitimate credit card that was like associated to Europe. It was really hard for me to do. And once I got it, I was able to see the differences in services, in songs, in value. It was just like, whoa.
Wait.
Unfortunately,
You just
you got a
said you
question.
needed a British address and all that to get an account, right?
Hmm. Well,
So
yeah, because you got to register a credit card. The credit card has to be an address over there and everything. Yeah.
how did
Yeah,
you get a British
yeah.
address?
No, 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 no. I cannot get into that. Dude, that's a wrong path.
That's
That's not a
exactly what
discussion.
I was going. I was going to cut him off
I
and
was
say,
like,
No,
dude,
no,
"Yeah,
no,
you
no,
no,
we
no,
ain't
no,
talking
no,
about
no.
that
no,
here."
dude, you laid it out there, and I got to get it
No,
now.
no.
Yeah, there's certain things you could get on the internet, and there's certain things you could get on the black market. There's certain accounts you could get here in America. There's certain accounts you could get in Europe. That's all I'm saying. I'm leaving it there. It's two
Look at
different
me.
It
entities.
is. It is a Jay. It is a process. Like, and right now we're getting into Charlie Brown territory with you. So enough said.
Oh, is that you like Henyo? I'm gonna do you a favor and keep him over here in the cage. So you
Yeah.
Because I
save
don't want
him.
to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, don't make Jay's head spin. We need him for the rest of the show. His head
We
was
got him live till 9:30.
right. He's alive
Oh
till 9:30. Time's ticking.
no,
We got about a half hour with him.
y'all!
Mhm.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so,
I'm
so
gonna go
again,
back to my cage now. I'm gonna go back to my cage. I got you.
we're really going down another path, but again, the values and titles, what's working, what's not, what's still, you know, uh, certain servers working for certain games. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
mostly every game nowadays has a backend server
Right.
that kind of makes the multiplayer aspect of it happens. Sony's shutting down a lot of them, just like Xbox does. Certain games, certain titles continue to live on in single player mode. Some can't.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, Sony has a couple of titles in which it needs that back end to
Mm.
be alive, and it's not.
Yeah, and it's a reality that goes past Microsoft Xbox and Sony PlayStation. When you have games up on services and depending on those services being active and how long do they remain active and open, and I mean we can go on and on with that, but it's a reality, and I can't wait. Again, guys, if you're listening to this either here at Drama Free Gaming on youtube.com or DFG podcast / anchor.fm, actually anchor.fm / DFG podcast. This is stuff that you have to consider, not just us gray heads, who, if we had our way, we would be like, don't change anything, leave it alone, don't touch it. But this industry is evolving, has been evolving, and I can't wait to have our guest next week and talking about these NFTs, because whether we like it or not, agree with it or not, this digital currency, digital products, not just in the gaming space, but it's coming into the gaming space. It's a reality, and some people are not happy. Some people are, and others don't have a clue. And I'll put myself in the
I
third
don't get
camp.
it.
I don't
Yeah,
get
me
it.
neither. I don't get it. I don't. Why am I gonna own a piece of digital
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
gonna
Well,
live in a hard drive somewhere?
I got something, like again, and we're revving up to that. I don't want to talk about that here, but let's do our homework, our due diligence. We're gonna have that guest who's been involved for quite some time, and we're gonna be chatting it up. And I got some questions, and some things how I'm understanding it. I might be wrong the way that I'm understanding it, but we're gonna leave that for the next episode. But yeah, Henyo's been rocking out with some games. I know Jay's been doing his retro thing. Jay, do you want to share any games you've been playing here, or we keep it moving?
Honestly, I really haven't played anything of note lately. I'm actually thinking about going back and putting some time into something, but I have been playing some.
I got a
I've been.
question, Jay.
Yo, what's up, baby?
Do you rotate through your arcade games? Like, do you walk past them and go, "Today's NBA Jam Day. Today is Miss Pac-Man Day," or do you go, I don't know. Let's see. Like, do you rotate through them?
That's a good question. Yeah, I want to see how
I
he
go
answers
through this
this.
with my titles. There's days that like I only have devoted to play on a certain game. Like I can't play Flight Simulator every day. Now, when you walk down your hallway, do you go, okay, it's MK Day?
Well, you want me to give you the honest truth on that one?
Yes, I want to know what this world is like to have an arcade in front of you.
Okay. So what I do, honestly, is I'll get up and I'll turn on every single arcade machine, and my house becomes a literally arcade. And I just treat it like I'm in an arcade. I just walk up to a machine and start playing it at random. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna play this.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, in all honesty, there is no rotation. It's just if I need to, feel on Miss Pac-Man, we do our thing. Wait, that did not come out right. I'm sorry. I'm
glad you caught it.
I'm sorry. Oh no.
You wanted to feel on Miss Pac-Man.
I mean, you know what I meant, man.
I know what you mean, brother.
I mean, just to make it fair and even, then, me and Mr. Pac-Man, we spend a little quality time together too.
Yeah.
And
this brother was talking about before we jumped on. You was gonna add to the arcade collection, wasn't you? What was the two games that you mentioned?
Arcade 1UP is doing once again, if you're here earlier, I told you Arcade 1UP is doing a full-size Killer Instinct machine, which will be added. But I'm also adding, I'm probably going to add The Simpsons, probably going to add Terminator 2, and,
That's the good one. Terminator 2, I would invest in.
Oh, dude, Terminator 2 is going to be dope.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait. And then that means that opens up more. I got to get Ridge Racer too. So I mean that'll be the second driving machine I might have to end up getting like 4 or 5 because I still need to get Goldeneye and Burger Time. Man, don't get me caught up in all that. That's too much. Nah, let's push it forward. If I'm sitting here thinking about money. Dude, I'm gonna end up sleeping on arcade machines if that's gonna be the
case. And you know what's leaving the house, right? His couch.
I know.
The kitchen table.
They're like, bro, all you got in your house is stools. Hey,
oh man,
biggest stool.
I tell you what though, it must be nice and warm in the wintertime.
Yeah. Actually, believe it or not, I never really run my machines like that.
Oh, okay.
So it's kind of one of those, you ever think about it, look at it this way. N-Time can kind of get the gist on this. If N-Time was to walk in his room and turn on both of his machines and just let a demo play of an arcade, he would get a slight nostalgic feeling of sitting in an arcade, just relaxing and doing something. So imagine if multiple arcade machines are on and you're just walking through your house and you're going to go, man, I'm in an arcade setting now. I need to play some games.
Mm.
And that's how my mind clicks on to playing arcade machines.
Kyle's already messing with you in the chat. I don't know if you're looking at it or not. He's saying
no, I ain't looking at the chat. What he got to say
he's
now?
Like he's saying laugh out loud. He's a clown, that Charlie Brown. Then he says Dark Dad 99 be like 9:15. Old man going to sleep.
Oh no, y'all clowning me. See this dude clown me straight in like live internet fashion. All right. And I apologize to whoever's listening. Again, if you're watching this live, we also have the invite to our Discord over here. You can join up with our community. So the invite is there on the screen. Just use that link there, and you be good to go. Let me get it moving because we a half hour in. We running out of time with Jay.
Can I interrupt?
Go ahead. Go for it.
Go ahead, man.
We discussed what game we're playing. We left out one.
What's that?
And you know which damn game I'm talking about?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
You want to go down that rabbit hole or not?
Aside from Death's Door, which you guys are seeing, and I've been playing this game, and like Henyo, I think I'm about maybe 80%, maybe 85% done with it. So this will probably be the first game I wrap up here in 2022. But there's another game called Dicey Dungeons. And that has been
It's called the Devil's Advocate.
that's been the bane of Daniel's existence since I introduced him to it.
That brother said the Devil's Advocate.
Dicey Dungeons. If you guys haven't checked it out, I put Henyo onto it because he got a Switch, and like I shared just briefly, I said, hey, I use my Switch more for like these little indie games, and it's just convenient for it to be portable. It is on Game Pass, Dicey Dungeons. But for me, it was so good that I went over to Switch and picked it up on sale for $2.99. I didn't pay full price, so I think Henyo did the same. And the game, I'm not gonna ruin it, and I'm not gonna go into it, but check it out. I think it's really cool. If you're on Xbox, it's on Game Pass. Check it out, download it, play it. And
I think it's safe to say it's addictive. Can we say that? It's addictive?
It is, and it's gonna have you coming back for more, and it's gonna pull your chain too. So
I don't need nothing that's gonna upset my temper, man.
Yeah, if Jay was to pick it up on his Switch, he'd probably throw his Switch across the house.
Wait a minute, my temper ain't that bad.
Well, I mean, you know, it messes with you. It messes with you. I know Henyo and I had kind of sort of a couple of words to say about it on Discord, and I agreed. I agreed with him. I said, yeah, I think that's how the game is built. You know, and maybe to save some people some heartache and pain, if you're expecting a game that you're going to complete a challenge and then you're going to be rewarded, that's not Dicey Dungeons. The game is you do the challenge, and that's what the game is. Forget about a reward. What did I call it, Henyo? Kind of a buff or perma buff or progression. No, ain't none of that. So it's just straight out play the game. Have fun if you can. And I'm having fun. Almost every night I'm on it before going to bed.
Did you say if you can?
Yeah. Have fun if you can.
So that almost sounds scary, man.
Well, hey,
have fun if you can.
It's like I'll use the example of my brother when we put him onto Monster Hunter, and he played, and after fighting one monster for like 45 minutes, he tapped out and realized, dang, I carded 3 times, and now I got to go out and fight the same monster again. I ain't doing this. It wasn't for him. So, and I respect that. I mean, some people, that's the whole thrill of it, and other people, it's like, nah. So, and I'm just trying to look at the chat here. Kyle says, Dark Dad, be like, gotta play each one every day so none get left out. Yeah, he caresses and touches his machines at least, you know. At least he's turning them on, so.
Why y'all got to make me feel like I'm some kind of pervert?
Sleek talking about Spelunky 2 coming to Game Pass, and it has cooperative for 4 people. I've never played Spelunky.
Isn't Spelunky like that game? It's kind of like an exploration.
I don't know. I can't tell you. I never played it, so. But I'm gonna keep it moving. What do you guys think about to get into some meat and potatoes here? What has anyone here played the original N64 version of Goldeneye 007?
I have.
You did? So
Yeah,
so
man.
tell us about your experience. I played it, but I wasn't gung-ho, you know, head over heels with it when it first came out. But there's people that were like, oh, this was revolutionary and the game was great. I mean, my exposure to it was brief, so maybe I didn't give it enough time, but tell us about that. What do you think in lieu of this game coming to Xbox?
Well, I guess going back from what little knowledge I have left of it, GoldenEye really set a precedence for FPSs coming to systems. Because remember, you know, the only way you could have played a first-person shooter like really well was on a PC, and GoldenEye opened the floodgates, you know, to actually make a good first-person shooter game on an N64, no less.
Mm.
And if you remember back in the 90s, if you didn't play GoldenEye and you wasn't killing each other with mines and all that, you wasn't having fun.
I remember playing GoldenEye on the N64, and how strange the controller felt until you actually learned how to hold it. And then after you held the controller, that analog stick was cheap. If you ever went into the stores and try to play like the demos, most of the time that analog stick was already snapped off and broken. So you wasn't dual wielding dual analog sticks, not on no N64.
No, but
that wasn't until later on.
But I mean, look what Goldeneye really opened up, though. I mean, I guess I'm looking at it from more of a historical, like, I had so much fun playing the game. It's one of the games that really liked me back in those days and want me to get me to play first-person shooters. You know, the Call of Duties when they were really starting to come out, and stuff like that. On PC, you guys already had that. If you were a PC player, you had first-person shooters. I think wasn't Counter-Strike back in the 90s, like early 90s, I believe.
Counter-Strike? I have to look that up. But yeah, I played Counter-Strike, yeah.
Yeah, see, because I know there were
Wake, you name it, go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but when GoldenEye dropped on the 64, if you didn't see, I wasn't privy to PC like that. But then 64 came and it was like GoldenEye. He was like, yo, 4 of us can shoot each other? We can do this? Yeah. Dude, it was a wrap.
I think what made it good was the fact that you have 4 players at once. You know, sharing the screen
on the same screen. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, I think that's where you kind of separate, the PC realm and any genre before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will agree with that 100% wholeheartedly.
Well, and I go ahead.
I'm sorry. I didn't grow up in the Nintendo world. I did never like own the system, so I kind of had to watch from afar, and that's basically what I saw. People love that GoldenEye.
Yeah, I have to say that I wasn't one of those people that loved GoldenEye, or was like, oh, this game is dope or whatever. Like I played it for a bit, but I don't remember like it grabbing me and me saying, wow, this is great. Like I must play with 4 other people. I lost interest. If my recollection is correct, I lost interest in the game pretty quick. And I don't know what it was, if it was the game, if it was the controller, because I always found that, you didn't have dual analog sticks at that time. You had to use the funny looking buttons off to the side that were more like directional buttons. So that was kind of like how you had a dual analog without having a dual analog. But this version of this game is supposed to drop on Xbox. Now, I don't know. I haven't heard or read anything. And maybe the news is out there by the time you hear this, but it's, I don't know if it's a reboot or a remake or a re-release, or what are we looking at here? What do you think this is going to be? Is it going to be just old school N64 version now works with modern control, or are we gonna get a new game, or what?
It was nostalgic. I think it's like playing Halo for the first time. Well, not for the first time, but playing Halo again on Xbox Pass. It was like you fired it up just for the hell of it, and you got a couple of guys together to play Halo 1, and I think that's what you're gonna see a lot of. Just a lot of nostalgia playing. Fellas getting together. Let's do this one last time.
You think they're gonna open up some servers for that, or?
Well, yeah, they have to, man. You gotta get that for.
They get enough people to play it to do that.
Yeah, there gotta be some sort of server, because there is no way you're gonna be playing this game by yourself. You gotta have someone hosting a multiplayer session. And granted, you're not gonna have, you probably won't have the luxury of too many, 4 players on the same screen experience, but you'll definitely have at least a multiplayer server for guys to jump on and go against each other. I can't imagine not. That has to.
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Jay, maybe you might help me with this, but this is who owns this property? Is it Rare?
Rare owned James Bond. but then Rare lost the James Bond license.
Okay. So is it Nintendo that's at the helm, or what are we talking about here?
I don't know because I honestly haven't looked anything into I haven't really looked into the new James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to give my opinion on it, I'm gonna kind of take a little something off Henyo when he said it's gonna get the Master Chief collection. There's gonna be like a HD remastered.
Oh, you think so? You think there'll be that treatment of it?
And then they're gonna give you the absolute original as well, back in its original form. Because why wouldn't you? That means, wait, I get an updated version, or I can go back and play the original version, which will sell you. It'll get you more money.
But
because you're gonna
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say you're talking about the campaign or the entire game multiplayer as well.
The entire game.
Okay.
I think it's just like Master Chief. It's going to be 2 different games, one new school, one old school. And of course, the new school one's going to get all the bells and whistles and a lot of upgrades. But then the old school one is going to be just like it was on 64. I mean, they're going to get it as close as they can, if not better. And do you know who's developing it, by the way?
No, that's what I was going to ask.
Oh, let me.
Who's going to develop it? Because I'm more than sure I heard that it was Rare who had, and Rare has been on record saying that they're not interested in going back to like old titles and remaking or rebooting anything. That was just last I heard from Rare.
Well, I mean, they could have gotten M2 or Bluepoint to do it, since they're pretty much the companies to go to for remasters of retro gaming.
Yeah, but I'm sure that there's some sort of anniversary that's coming up or something, either with this game property and whatnot. And because that's the only time that Nintendo, and this is my opinion, solely my opinion, that Nintendo even puts like remote effort into bringing out an old IP, and I, when I first heard this news, I was like, Goldeneye 007, like, does that have a fan base and a place today? Like, nostalgia is one thing, but is it really going to bring and then sustain and hold, people to play it? What do you guys think about that?
I don't know. Before we get to that question, so I'm gonna let you guys know the company doing the new James Bond game is called 10 Interactive.
Okay.
I haven't seen any kind of game that stands out that is done by them, but it's basically, we probably won't see it this year.
I mean, I don't care. I really don't care that it's coming out, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not. Like, I might sneak a peek at it, but I'm not like, ooh, GoldenEye 007. I can't wait to see how it looks remastered. Like, I have like zero interest and excitement in this game.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, I do. I don't know how you, because I don't see this game like bringing in an audience, and like that's why I asked about, you think it's gonna have a server? I mean, that was kind of like a trick question. Of course, it's gonna have a server. It's gonna have the multiplayer, but what are you gonna do with this game? Is it a remake? Is it a reboot, a reimagination? Or is it just Nintendo saying, "Oh, let's dust this off. It's been in the vault all this time, and let's make a couple of bucks and release it on." I mean, I'm assuming it's probably gonna be on the Switch as well.
Well, they already dropped it for the Switch.
They did? They got through the service?
When you upgrade the service, 007 was one of the first games they give you on the Nintendo 64 service.
Oh, you see, I didn't even know that. And that's having its own issues. That's another podcast.
Oh, really?
N64 sucks on Switch.
Did you play it?
I'm not. I ain't paying like 3 times as much money for some busted up, no working server. Don't even put like any effort in trying to make the service any good. Like, you gotta be. That's a no brainer for me, bro. I mean, I know there's people out there. Yeah, you gonna spend your money how you want, but no, like, nope. No, that's how I feel about it. Like, no,
I'm new to the Nintendo world, so I'm kind of getting used to some of the activity that's going on.
yeah, I still got the old school plan, and it lets me put 8 members on it, and I'm good with that. I'm not giving you 3 times as much money for some crappy service, and no, I'm not doing it. I mean, when you don't have
Nintendo now,
when you don't have chat as a standard, just I mean, that's a no-brainer. I gotta download a separate app, and then I gotta make sure that the game I'm playing is compatible for chat. No, I'm not doing it. That's ridiculous. Anyways, whatever. I went off on a tangent there, but I
think it's going to be a novelty thing. I think they'll just throw it up there, let people use it, and they're going to use it, and it's a nostalgic value. That's what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure Halo is still running on Xbox Pass, whether people are actually playing the first Halo. It's there.
Yeah. Oh no, it's there, and people still, when they up the servers, when they turned on the servers again, people are playing that Halo 2 and that Halo 3 multiplayer. So just because Infinite is out, people still playing, and they had a big fan base before, so that was like glorious when that happened. But anyways, I'm not excited. Maybe you guys are. Leave some comments in the chat if you're listening to this after the fact. I'm curious, does it have a place, or is it just Nintendo cash grabbing again? Because let's be real, I think it's a cash grab. So, anyway,
I'm starting to feel that. I'm starting to feel that from Nintendo, man.
Oh, you starting to feel it? We know it as truth, brother. That's gospel.
Yeah. I'm looking at some of their titles, and it's like $59.99 for a game that's been out for over 2 years.
Yup.
Look.
Still.
You know the one thing I've said it once before, a long time ago, and I'll say it again. Nintendo knows how to take your money, and they will do it to the face, and they will pimp smack you in the same hand, and then walk off and be like, "Thank you," and you'll be like, "What did I just do?"
Yep.
That's how Nintendo gets you. I ain't mad at them though. They've been like that for a long time.
Yeah, no.
NBA 2K22, it's $29.99. Target has it for $29.99. Best Buy has it for $29.99.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the real sale here? Like, that's not a sale.
Ain't no sale. You're that. Why you think when I go on the Switch, and I told you, my range is free to $9.99. That's it. And you don't see me pay no $9.99 for no game. My games is usually when they're deep 80, 90%. And I'm picking stuff up at $1.99, $2.99 the most. It's got to be like real good for me to get like a $4.99 game.
Yeah, I've been browsing and looking and going, okay, that's not bad. All right. Oh yeah, that's good. I wish I could pick that up. But then it's like, do I really want that game?
Yeah.
And then it's like the games that I do find is like $19.99.
Yeah, no. No.
Why you lick your lips like that? That brother said that. Hey man, come on now.
Now you know what you can do, and if you guys, anyone tuning in, I mean, most of us here, we have all the platforms. We'll play anything on everything. We got some retro, got some PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and we have our preferences. But if you're playing on the Nintendo platform, and I just found this out, so here's a quick tip, right? If you pull up a game, if you're in the eShop and you pull up a game, and on the top left corner, when you pull up that game, you'll see the developer. It'll say the name of the developer. You can actually put your cursor on that and hit the button, and it'll open up another page where it'll show all the games that developer has made and is on the Switch platform. And that's how I find a lot of these like deep sales, because they might have a game that I want, but it's not on sale. And then I'll click that and it'll show me 20 other games that are on sale, maybe 5 of them. And I'll just throw them on my wish list, and sometimes I'll just wait until the price drops. Right. But first party games, forget it. Breath of the Wild came out like what, 5 years ago? I'm exaggerating, but the game is old. We're gonna get the sequel here probably this year, and it's still $60.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
no.
like I want to play Zelda. I want to try Zelda.
Yeah.
I'm willing to sit down and play Zelda.
Yeah.
But that thing is like, it just came out yesterday.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not gonna go down. And if you go somewhere like GameStop to try to get a physical version, well, they're gonna say, well, the games don't depreciate, and they're gonna try to stick it to you used for $59.99.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nope.
You should have seen how it was back in the day when they were really getting into used games. You guys remember the Dreamcast, right?
Yeah.
So the fighting game Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on Dreamcast, they had it in GameStop used for $100.
Yeah, no.
They were like, we need to take that off your back right quick though.
Yeah, that's and again, if you're not in the gaming scene, a little bit deeper, you'll say, oh, okay, it's a new Zelda. You won't know the game is 5 years old already, and the sequel's coming. And their idea of a sale, Nintendo's idea is, oh, it used to be $59.99, now it's $55.99 for first party. That's just first party games. You're never gonna find a Mario based, Luigi based, Zelda based game that drops. If you see it for $35, that's probably the cheapest it'll get.
Yeah. What I see is we'll give you double coins.
Yeah.
If you buy it.
And if you don't use them coins in a certain period of time,
yeah,
they expire.
Oh no.
Yep.
Yes,
really?
sir.
Yeah, man.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's what I do. Like, I'll buy the cheap games because I'm frugal like that, and I'll amass some coins, and then I'll just immediately use those coins and get like another 50 cents off because they don't amass to nothing. It's not like you're getting anything.
Yeah, some company used to do that too. I think I want to say it's Best Buy. You buy the game, you buy something, and then maybe I'm thinking of like AutoZone or Pep Boys or something, in which they'll give you like you spend like $500 on the tires,
right?
And like you're supposed to get like a $20 rewards, and then if you don't use that $20 in the next 3 months, they wipe it out.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
God damn.
It's like yeah, I gotta buy it. I gotta buy something else, and it's like, why can't I just leave it in my account there for when I'm ready? It's like, no, and more on.
Oh, let me buy some Rain-X. Only just some $20. It's like, seriously, I'm not. I wanted to use the $20 for like a car inspection or something. It's
right?
Like, no.
Nah, you can't. Nope. They hold it hostage, bro. And if you don't get it in time, right, they execute it. It's like
for real.
But hey, I mean that's why I can't wait till next week with these NFTs, man, because I'm kind of getting the same vibes. But I'm gonna save it for next week.
I can now wrap my head around that.
I can't.
I know they're gonna. I'm hoping that the person that comes on and explains it thoroughly, makes believers out of us. But honestly, I don't get it. I don't see how and why would you do something like that.
Well, I again, I'm coming in with a open mind, and I'm a gray head. I consider myself a gray head, and but I want to have an open mind because I want to understand. I want to be informed, and hopefully, if it's of service to anybody else, and hey, if people can benefit from it, and it's gonna be a good thing, why not? If it works for you,
the money making scheme.
Leave it alone, brother. Leave it alone.
Scheme, man.
Bring the fire next week.
This brother said it with his chest too.
This is scheme. This is the same thing with cryptocurrency. So wait a minute, I'm gonna put money to make digital money so I could get locked out of that money. Come on.
Like I said, brother,
Look,
I'm
there's only one currency I accept, the one that says "In God We Trust."
Well.
If I can't see that stamp, "In God We Trust," it is logical. It doesn't exist.
Hold on, this brother just turned into Mr. This is. I can go ahead, man.
that brother's channeling you because I think it's almost nappy time for you.
Hold on. Like I've never thought I would hear Henyo go off on a podcast until now.
No, you don't know
And
Henyo
this
like I
dude-
do.
Funny.
This dude losing his mind over crypto and
No.
NFTs. I am dying right now.
We haven't talked logical money, currency. That's why.
So now we know.
Henyo say, look, I know the color green. That's all I know. I know about
That's
some
all
green.
I know. That's and I'm a gray head, and that's what you know.
Hey,
Those
brother,
2 pennies is what I'm rubbing.
brother, I'm with you. And our guest has, he's gonna have his time to shine. And again, he's a good friend. I'm not gonna jump down his throat or whatever. But like you said, I want to believe, but I'm in your camp so far.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm like,
No,
hey,
it's not about. Yeah, it's not about him trying to convince us. I want to hear this out. I want to know what it's about. I want to know the value of it. I want to know the mechanics of it. Right. That's what I look forward to. Definitely. I hope he makes it for us.
Yeah.
Well,
if I'm hearing you right, you want to know how the scheme works, right?
I'm gonna reserve the word scheme because
okay, you gotta ease up on this. You call it for what it is. It's that bullshit. That's all you want to
man.
say.
Anyways, let's keep it moving. Let's keep moving, guys.
you.
We're about an hour deep into this. According to my clock over here, we're about an hour deep. We've been having a lot of fun here, guys. Thank you for checking us out here on youtube.com/drama free gaming, and of course on anchor.fm/DFG podcast, episode number 56. That means there's 55 episodes that you've missed. And
wow.
Let me tell you, them first episodes are kind of rough. We had no clue what we was doing, what direction we was going. We had conversations that meant nothing. But you'll probably go back and listen to it, and you'll laugh and say, man, these guys sucked, and now they don't suck as much. So we've come a long way. But anyway,
I'll be honest with you. I go back and listen to some of these podcasts.
Do you really?
Do. Yeah, I mean, I don't go too far back. I'll
no,
go like
you might not come back.
1 or 2 episodes. I go 1 or 2 episodes only to hear the what I've said, right, and digest what I've said. And if I have to come back to the next episode to kind of break it down, then because if I say something out of talking bullshit, I want to kind of.
I like this Henyo in 2022.
Hey, you need to stop feeding off my energy, Henyo. I'm feeling kind of hurt right now. This brother taking over tonight. Like, whoa, Henyo thumping his chest. Okay.
Oh man. Anyways, guys, I'm having a lot of fun. I want to just talk about one more thing because, at the beginning of the show, I know that Jay, without knowing, jumped ahead and talked about Game Pass, and I just want to make a comment about that. CES is happening right now, like it happens every year in January, the beginning of the year. We get the new tech that's being announced, and most of the time, what I focus on is the TVs. Even though I'm sitting in front of my beautiful OLED 55-inch LG, which I won't trade for the world.
There you go.
That's my baby. And I just picked her up last year. But there are specifically I can talk about Samsung. Samsung's coming out with some new OLED stuff. QNED is what they call it, I believe. Don't quote me on that. But anyways, the TV's looking hot, looking sexy, but even more appealing. And we kind of knew this was already going to happen. It's not really news, but it's coming on the scene. There's going to be, which they're already there, apps. And one of those apps that concerns us that we were talking about earlier, that Game Pass app is going to be on these Samsung TVs. And so that's going to open up Game Pass to an audience that is just, they're probably not even gamers. They're just casual. And it's going to be right there, front and center. You don't have to have a console. You can pretty much use a controller to access the Game Pass. And I'm sure they'll probably package in some, I don't know, maybe a month free of Game Pass to kind of, get people enticed or what however they're gonna handle that. But what do you guys think about this? How is Game Pass now that's already probably, in my opinion, the best gaming service out there, hands down. What do you think is going to be the reach of Game Pass? Last time I checked, I think they were creeping up on 30 million subscribers. How do you think this is going to impact the gaming scene? Not just Microsoft, Xbox, because there's games on Game Pass that are on other platforms. Do you think it's going to bring other developers to become believers and drop more games in Game Pass? I mean, if you had to use your imagination, where are we a year from now?
I'm thinking a whole bunch of company acquisitions are going to happen again. And everybody's going to have to be forced to choose between Xbox, Sony, whoever's out there that want their games on. Because the more companies get bought and the more license to get drug into one company or the other, and that's just going the Netflix, Hulu route. I mean, everything's digital, everything's streaming, and everything's following suit slowly but surely. I mean, that's my look. It's in another 5 years that we probably won't see digital media. We won't see hard media like that. 90% of everything will be on digital.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Oh, no. I was just going to say, to follow it up and to end it, in the next 2 or 3 years, if you don't have Wi-Fi at all, you're living in a stone age at this point.
Okay.
I mean, just saying. Because that's what everything is just going to be on digital. That's just what it is.
The way I see this, Xbox Pass coming onto like a smart TV and number one is the exposure, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be almost to people that when they first had, their flat panel TV, they had a basic Netflix subscription, right? But what did smart TV do? It exposed them now to different services like Tubi, YouTube, Crackle. It just opened up all these other apps that people were like, oh, there's something else besides Netflix, right? And they started subscribing to these other HBO, Apple TV. All these things were part of your TV. There were applications in your TV, and people started kind of saying, okay, I'm gravitating to it, right? So the first phase, obviously Xbox Pass as an app on the TV is gonna, number one, you're gonna gain this. And if you don't know about Xbox Pass now, you'll definitely be exposed to it as a service like Netflix, your Hulu, whatever. Now, what that'll translate to later on, and much later on, is almost what happened with Netflix. Netflix was getting movies, right? Licensing movies. But soon that content becomes stale because everyone's already watched it. What did that force Netflix and Amazon services to do? Create their own content. I'm talking about just field anyone out there that's willing to make content for your service. And that's the explosion that will happen again because it happened with Netflix. Think about it. Think about how many shows that are original shows that are on Netflix, that are on Amazon Prime, that are on, whatever, the Apple TV. It just forced these companies not to just rely on existing licensing, licensed movies or content, but to create more content. It forces their hand. And Xbox is going to say, we got indies for you to consume. You just don't have to play, Madden. You just don't have to play Call of Duty. We're going to have excuse the term, a shitload of indies that you could try out, not just these AAA titles. That's what I think is going to happen, in which Microsoft is just going to say, hey, give me a game. I don't care what it is. It's going to open up the doors for developers, and anything that could be played will be provided. That's how I see it. I think it's Netflix all over again, but at a video gaming level.
That's
upset.
Yeah, I think it was well explained, and for people who remember what Netflix was before, it's before the Netflix of today. Like, wasn't it a mail-in service?
Yes, it was.
You actually like subscribed and you
rented DVDs
and you rented them, right? And it was either 2 And if you wanted like the ultimate subscription, then 3, but you paid a different price. But you waited for those DVDs to come, and you hope that people would return them. And and the same thing like with their gaming, right? With the gaming service was the same way. You know, you got physical media. So
you were renting stuff that was already out there.
Right.
Nothing original.
Right.
Well,
And that's the explosion. That's what'll bring all Xbox Pass over the top.
And also, we're talking history. Also, remember, guys, Netflix actually helped put the end to the home movies blockbuster experience as well, because nobody wanted to go rent a movie when you could just get it from Netflix.
Right.
Convenience is also a number one seller to a lot of people nowadays too.
Right. And
Netflix was more convenient.
And talking about that, right? Convenience and the climate of the times that we live in, with, you know, having to be quote unquote, you know, distance from your fellow neighbor and your fellow man. And, you know, so it kind of makes it even easier, right? To have a service like that, and then having the exposure, because let's get down to it, right? It's all about exposure. And the early adopters might say, okay, this is cool, let's give it a try. But, you know, there's still some on the edges, on the peripherals. Like today I saw the news, and I want you guys to chat about this as well. Ubisoft, or Ubisoft, however you want to pronounce that, Ubisoft Plus, that's the name of their subscription, is going to pop up on Xbox. It's not part of Game Pass yet, because I made a prediction. Didn't I? I made a prediction back in 2020, that they were eventually going to be just like EA is right now. EA has their subscription service on Game Pass as a separate subscription service, but they got a lot of their games in Game Pass as well. And
EA joined up. They're officially Microsoft Game Pass now.
Well, there you go. So I stand corrected. I don't pay attention to EA, but thank you, Jay, for that. So
no problem.
Ubisoft, right? Ubisoft is like, okay, you know, we're going to make our subscription available on the Xbox platform, but how long do you think that it's going to be before it rolls into Game Pass, if at all?
A year.
You think a year?
I could only wish sooner.
You think sooner? I mean, they already have Rainbow Six in Game Pass. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's there. It's a Ubisoft title. So, a year? Another year.
Yep. And the only reason I'm saying that is because, you know how gaming systems do. Because we got to wait because we got too many big announcements this year coming. So the little stuff, they might try to sneak it past the cracks, because we got TGS coming up. We got, what's the big one? What's the big show? E3.
Mm-hmm.
E3's coming, and E3's going to be all online this year. So, you know, the first quarter is usually like everybody's ramping up. So let's get away the old news, bring in the new news, and you're going to start seeing some news. And I'm saying a year, man. It's got to be a year.
A year, okay. So
towards
the end of the last quarter, then we're talking about.
Yeah.
They're gonna hold off until then.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say sooner, only because Ubisoft has shown their true colors for a long time. They've made every game and every IP that they have open world, and again, we got to bring it up. NFTs is one of the things that they're cheerleading, and they're looking to make money. And what better way to make money than getting the exposure you're gonna get on Game Pass? So I don't know.
You know what?
I don't know. I don't know if they'll hold out a year. There's too much money on the table.
Now, would that change the subscription? I mean, now Microsoft's saying, well, we're giving you more the subscription value is now has to be driven upwards. We can no longer afford to keep it at a certain level. It has to go up.
That's coming.
That's coming for sure. Just like they would integrate Ubisoft.
I'm thinking the opposite. I'm thinking that well, I'm not ruling out that there would be eventually an increase, in the subscription, but I'm thinking with because right now, from what I understand, they have not profited at all. It's all been investing in, putting games in there. I think Xbox and the Game Pass specifically is going to become profitable when the first party IPs start kicking in. These 20, 25 plus first party developers for Xbox that they acquired start pushing the games straight into Game Pass, because then Xbox ain't paying no external, developer company for a game, even if it's for like a limited time or whatever. Now they got in-house games. You see what I'm saying? And so by them having these internal, developers, and they start getting, just imagine they start putting out 2 titles every, and we're talking first party, 2 titles every quarter into Game Pass. So first party AAA titles, and we're talking about, Forza Motorsports is coming. What else? Avowed is coming. There's just Joanna Dark, and that game is eventually coming. Fable is coming. You can just go down the list. Bethesda and their games, their first party. So Starfield towards the end of the year. Redfall. There's gonna be a ton of first party games that are gonna be day one in Game Pass, which goes back to what we were talking about early when I asked the question of, or I think it was Jay who asked the question, if Sony was offering a Game Pass. They have a service, but if it was like a Game Pass service, would you jump on it if they made all their games? But at this point, how far ahead is Microsoft that, you're still going to have your people that are loyal to Sony and or are just gamers, and they're going to get the service. But I asked the question, like, how fast will Sony deliver a service like Game Pass? Because all I see right now is them looking at PC and saying, okay, we'll give you this game that came out at the beginning of the PS4. I don't know. I don't see Sony being gracious with their first party games. I just don't see it. I don't know. Am I wrong?
Yeah, and the only reason I'll say that is because Sony want to make money too. Like, that's just what it's going to revolve around. If Sony want to make money, Microsoft laid the blueprint down, and Sony is the Nintendo from a couple years ago. How it took Nintendo so long to go over to disc, and then when they finally went to disc, it was too late. Everybody was going to Blu-ray. So now Sony's kind of last on the bandwagon. Well, we got PlayStation Now, which is absolute garbage. It's kind of all right, but it ain't what people want.
No, it's garbage. It's not all right. It's garbage. Listen, you just said it. Let's not decorate it. It's trash. It is. And and I'm saying that by firsthand experience. But why? Why is it taking so long? If it's about cash, money on the table, you said it. It's almost like we're saying two contrary things, Oh yeah, it's about cash, they're gonna do it, but when? How much money do you bleed before you decide, okay, I'm gonna do it? Because Nintendo, I mean, I wouldn't even bring Nintendo to the conversation. Nintendo is just not. They don't care. Like you said earlier, Nintendo's gonna do what Nintendo does. Their first party games are theirs. That's a whole different beast, you know. But is Sony in the same vein as Nintendo, where they're like, no, we're going to make you sit in our ecosystem, charge you $60, $70, charge you a $10 upgrade fee, if you have last gen version to play on the current gen console. I mean, all this stuff that is not consumer friendly. I'm speaking as a gamer realities, not, don't take me as a fanboy, because who was it that gave me news? Jay gave me news that, what was that stupid move that Xbox was almost about to do?
Oh, they was about to knock out the emulation system for the Xbox One S.
Yeah, the developer mode on the Xbox. That if you guys don't know, you can purchase a $20 license. It's a one-time fee, and you can emulate on your Xbox Series X and S. And this has proven to actually have been beneficial, because you don't have hackers out there trying to get into Xbox Series X and S. This is the easy way. You just pay for the license, $20, and I'm emulating GameCube games on my Xbox Series S. I play Mario Party all the time on my Xbox Series S. It's the reason why I got an Xbox Series S. I have an X, but I have an S as well. And so yes, I mean, stupid could happen to anybody is what I'm trying to say. But you know, how long until Sony pulls the trigger and gets over themselves and say, hey, you know what? We're just going to follow right along, and this is going to be our Game Pass service. Because they can do it. What's the barrier? Am I missing something?
I don't know. I think they should have done that years ago. Like right when PlayStation 4 dropped, everything should have been available for Sony then. They have stepped on the ball. Microsoft jumped on it. That's why they made all their moves. They're like, yeah, Sony think they got something going. Microsoft like, we just gonna work under because remember, everybody was jumping on, the 360 ain't got no games. And Microsoft's like, we're going to acquire this company. 360 ain't doing nothing. Oh, we'll go ahead and get this company too. They spent all that money and all that time, and now look at them.
Well, I remember at Xbox 360, yeah, they had their ups and downs. They had games, but they went south in a heartbeat when that era was done and Xbox One launched. I mean, that was disastrous, because they took their eyes off the prize. So, and that didn't happen overnight. So, we can talk about 360 being great and whatever. 3 Rings of Death. I mean, that happened to me. That happened to everybody and their mother. I mean, that was disastrous. And Xbox has been climbing out that hole since. They're just now beginning to get some goodwill and turn that narrative around. But, again, anybody can do stupid. And right now, just calling it what it is, I think it's stupid that PlayStation has not said, hey, you know what? We're going to copy and paste this. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to be on this trip of, first party, if you want to play, whatever, first party game, you got to pay $70. Like, where's the goodwill there? And even if you paid that money, okay, that's fine. You have the option of doing that. But if you have a subscription service, and even if it's an older game, let's not even say it's fresh out the gate, where is that? I don't see it. I see it on PC. Like, I can't wait to play the God of War from last year or 2 years ago. I can't wait to play that on PC. That's where I'm gonna play it. So,
wow.
I
mean, I'm shocked that you gonna actually play that game.
I'm gonna play it. I played it on PlayStation 4. I never beat it, but I don't have a PlayStation 4 Pro right now. I'm not running out, even if I could, and if they were available, I would not get a PlayStation right now. I wouldn't. Was that?
Blasphemy.
He said blasphemy.
No. You know why I wouldn't? Because at first I was thinking to myself, I'll get a PlayStation and I'm definitely getting the digital. But after I've seen how PlayStation has so far continued in this generation, I'm like, no, I'll get the physical. And the reason why, you know why, guys? Because I know that I can, when the day comes, I can trade it in. I can trade it in and all my physical media, and I can trade all that in because I'm not, you see, it for me to get, and I'm all digital on Xbox, I don't have not one piece of physical hardware for my Xbox. My Xbox has never received a disc in its hard drive. Okay, and I'm talking about my Series X. And I have no issues with that. I know that I don't have physical media. I know that it's in the cloud somewhere. I know that the server shut down. I know all that stuff. But I have no qualms with being all digital on Xbox because of the service that they provide. Mm-hmm. I can't say that about PlayStation. I wish I could. So with PlayStation, it's like, nah, I'm going to, when I get a PlayStation 5, I'm going to enjoy Spider-Man and I'm going to enjoy God of War, but it's not going to be day one. It's probably going to be like a year or 2 years later. Maybe when the PlayStation 6 comes out, I'll go back and say, okay, now's the time to go buy these other games because they're dirt cheap. And I'll get them physical media. I mean, I thought I'd never say that because I've had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. I had the thick boy PlayStation 3, which was backwards compatible. I mean, the hardware in it. And I had like 4 PlayStation 4 Pros.
Yep.
All right. And I enjoyed it. But I don't know, man. Like PlayStation hasn't won me over as a gamer for me to invest in that ecosystem. It's like, do I really want, like, I mean, I would love to jump on it right now and play what's the game that Blue Point put out? I even forget the name. The remake of
Dark Souls? Demon Souls.
Demon Souls. That just because of I know I'll never finish that game, but just because of how it looks, I would love to be playing Spider-Man right now on my PlayStation 5. Not the PlayStation 4 version, the actual PlayStation 5 version, okay? If it exists.
I am playing it.
You're playing it.
I am playing it. And it damn looks great.
It's beautiful,
awesome.
right?
It is beautiful.
But
it is. The detail in it, forget it.
Yeah, but for me right now as a gamer, PlayStation hasn't caused me to go, dang, I gotta like get a PlayStation 5 right now.
They haven't done it for you, sir.
They haven't done it, man. Nope. Even if God of War comes out tomorrow, Ragnarok.
Uh-oh.
Nope.
We can't lose the host.
No, man. No. I can't do it. But anyways, guys.
I lost it for a hot second there.
Yeah, we lost it for a second.
Yeah, you know, YouTube is probably telling us it's time to sleep.
Oh, what? Something agrees with me for a change?
I don't know, man. Yeah, you haven't said that you sleepy or anything, but I'm looking up and we're pushing the 1.5 hours already here. If we got a hiccup or something, it's not on my end. It's all about YouTube just acting stupid, but it's all good. I think we're gonna wrap it up with some farewell remarks. If you want to talk about any games that you have on the horizon, I know we've mentioned games that we've been playing, but I'm gonna leave it with saying that I'm looking forward to playing Witcher 3, jumping back in that world and picking up where I left off. So that's a game I'm looking forward to. And
I'm still gonna do that on the Switch if I could interrupt for a second.
Me too, but it's $59.99. So
damn it,
it's a no-go.
It's a no-go.
It's a no-go. I actually got that game purchased. I got the physical complete edition and the expansion packs for the PlayStation 4 in my closet upstairs. Plus, I got the Gwent cards, okay, that are in-game in that game. So I got it on PlayStation 4 and I got it for the Xbox as well. Digital, of course, on the Xbox, a complete edition. So, and was thinking about buying it for the Switch, but it's $59.99. So Yeah, Nintendo can kiss my butt at this point. So that's not happening. But yeah, and another little game that I played a whiles ago, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but The Outer Wilds. I want to go and check that out again. Really sit down and play that game. So those are my remarks, people. Before I go, I'm gonna let Henyo and Dark Dad speak their piece, and then we're gonna close it out. Thank you for hanging out here at Drama Free Gaming. Hopefully you enjoy the content. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe. We are past the 400 mark. We got 401 subscribers. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys.
Thank you. Nothing but love, baby. Thank you for that. Thank you, the first subscriber of the year. Thank you for the love.
We might be able to, if we keep it rolling, we might be able to pick up some more people. I think people like this drama-free kind of laid back. Let's just be real about stuff, talking about gaming and not get into the weeds about this, that, and the other. And remember, next week, if you're listening to this on replay, next week we're gonna have on episode 57 a guest to speak about NFTs, who is knowledgeable about these NFTs, and we can't wait. We can't wait to sit down, hear him out, and be able to ask our own questions. Hopefully, he brings it kindergarten style, so that we can understand.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great, because everything I read is like hieroglyphics and Charlie Brown. So I need to understand this like preschool.
And everything I see and read looks like 3-card Monty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Y'all are taking it back on me. Like, wow.
I hear you, brother. Well, I'm trying not to go the old man cynical view here, but I'm there, brother. I'm there. So, all right, Jay, let me give it to you, and then I'm gonna let Henyo close us out before I hit this farewell music.
Oh, this dude said farewell music. Well, thank you for the subscriber once again. I tell you what, guys, if you really like the show, go ahead and drop a like. Leave comments. We will keep it drama free. Maybe we can get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be show us a little bit of love, just a little bit. We ain't asking for much. If you want to hear a couple of old gray heads banter, act like a bunch of morons, but at the same time keep it drama free and bring you some good news, that's what we here for. So the more you show us that you like us and you want it, we'll keep bringing it to you and keep upgrading. That's just the way it goes.
I love your enthusiasm.
And y'all have a good night.
1,000 subscribers. Let's go. All right, yo. The stage is yours.
I love man. I love the Discord channel. Come on down, talk. Say good morning, say good night. Ask questions, be part of the community. It's feeling a lot of love with it. Even if you don't, talk all the time, there's guys that pop in and out, and they go about their business, but they always show up and say what's up. And come on down to the Discord channel, have a chat with us, ask questions. Let us know what you think, obviously, and keep it drama free and enjoy gaming, man. This is what it's about, right? That's why we're here.
And I couldn't have said it better myself. I'm not gonna add to that, take away. Appreciate you being with us again, whether you are at anchor.fm/DFG podcast or here on youtube.com/drama free gaming, and now on Discord. Of course, we've been there for a minute. Just look us up. If you don't get the link here on the video, just simply type in drama free gaming. You'll see my gorgeous avatar that has a lifelike resemblance on there, and yeah, come join us. Like Enyo said, we have banter always going on there. Even if you don't chat, you just follow the chat. I know it gets some people through the day, and we try to do some gaming and some game streaming on that platform. Also, shout out to Jay on Twitch. He has a Twitch channel. I do have a Twitch channel. I don't use it, but Jay's gonna be getting on his Twitch channel. That's DarkDad99. So if you like Twitch, go check him out there. Go subscribe. And he does retro gaming. He does some modern gaming. I think he's gonna be working on that Castlevania run of his. And yeah, so there's stuff going on. And also shout out to And you correct me if I'm wrong, Jay. Modern vintage gamer.
Oh, you mean moderately retro?
Moderately retro. There you go.
Yeah,
modern vintage gamers be somebody else. But moderately retro, go check him out as well. Good guy. He's been here in the chat. He's listened to the podcast before. And I would love to have that brother on and chat with him about, his retro gaming, his love for that. Catch him also on Twitch. All right. All right, guys. Be good. Do good. And as always, keep your life and your gaming drama free. Later.
Later, man.